Deep in the heart of Texas, this is Drinkin Dynasty with your host, Luke Wilson and Sweet Lou.
Welcome, everyone, to the latest live episode, onsite episode, of Drinkin Dynasty, episode 17, Lucifer.
Wow, man. We
see
here.
you.
Same, in
Good
person.
in person.
Yeah.
Live and in person. Wait, Lou, where the hell are we?
We're in your backyard, man.
It's true.
At Bitter Sisters Brewery, drinking beer, having a good time.
I've tipped a few back at this location.
Also, we had some amazing barbecue from JB Catering. If you haven't had it, you need to check it out because it is delicious.
I gotta be honest, I've had my fair share of trailer barbecue at breweries before. This is the best I've ever had. The JB's, that thing, you gotta put a disclaimer on that thing. That thing borderline changed my life.
He touched it up with some pickled onions, some barbecue sauce. Fire.
Fantastic.
You need to have it.
All right, so we're trying not to shut the club down too hard here, Lou. It's, we're coming up on closing time. We got a Q&A session. We got a throbbing mob. I always joke about having a throbbing mob of fans. Now we do. All of a sudden.
They're here.
Out of nowhere. So we have a whole set list of fantasy questions from the masses that we got to get to. Lou, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's knock it out.
Yeah.
All right, sir. What is your question? The first live question ever asked on Drinkin Dynasty. Go ahead.
All right, my name's Clay from Dallas, Texas. I need your gentleman's elevator pitch for Dynasty Leagues, specifically for my no good, stupid, lazy friends who are resistant to joining such a commitment. So pitch that to me. Thank you.
I mean, low down, dirty, no good friends. You're just talking fantasy football players, really, at that point. Like, it's not you're not narrowing it down much. Lou, you actually came to Dynasty in the last 24 months.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. What got you to take the plunge?
Dynasty is a whole different ball game, and the awesome thing about it is like you're keeping that team, right? So you're basically getting to be like a GM, and it's an amazing place to make trades. You really got to think about the future. It's not about winning just that year. It's a whole different ball game. Like if you're not playing Dynasty, you need to get into it, Luke. You've had more experience with it than me. So what got you into Dynasty, and why is it a great game to play with your friends?
Because you can abuse them. Really is the main. Well, to me, redraft. What's great about redraft is you're not accountable to your mistakes for long term. In Dynasty, you are. So, yeah, if you're the guy who's always taking huge risks and 1 out of 4 hits, and the rest are disastrous. You took Treylon Burks in the second round.
By the way, he's hurt again.
Then you're probably not going to love Dynasty. But I'm not talking to you. If you are the guy who, perfect example, March 2024, Jonnu Smith, very quietly, it wasn't a big news item, goes from the Atlanta Falcons, gets released ahead of free agency, which is unusual, gets released, goes to the Miami Dolphins, and if you are a hardcore football fan, you follow the news ticker that closely, you might have been able to jump on that and capitalize on it in a Dynasty League. In redraft leagues, well, you're not going to draft until August anyway, so the stuff that happens 8-9 months of the year, you might know about it first, but you don't get to capitalize on it first. In Dynasty, you do. It becomes a year-round hobby, really, is what
That's
it is.
what I was getting into. For crazy people like us who love fantasy football, who love football, this is all year round. You get to make trades in the off season. You're more into what's going on with the rookies, the NFL draft.
And if you stop paying attention, you suffer. You are punished for that.
Exactly.
So it's a good way to punish your friends. Next up, we got Chris, Bitter Chris, I call you. What is your question for us tonight, Chris?
Hi, I'm Chris Preston, Bitter Sisters. Had a question for you. Who's your number one sleeper, RB or wide receiver?
Somebody who's going pretty late in drafts is DeAndre Swift. The Chicago Bears have an amazing offensive line. They just picked up their coach, Ben Johnson. So I expect DeAndre Swift to do a lot of good things this season. And he's going so late in drafts right now that I feel like he's a good money pick at the moment.
You took my guy. You took my guy.
That's what I do.
I don't know why I let you talk
I'm over
first.
somebody else.
I'm going to go with one that we actually have already agreed on. that I think is like he's still on the sleeper, he's still sleeper territory. Jordan Mason going to the Minnesota Vikings.
I like that one.
That's an example. Another example of like it's a great campaign, elevator pitch for, hey, let's play some Dynasty. Jordan Mason quietly, right around open free agency, gets traded from the 49ers to the Vikings, gets a contract. I mean, I think he has more money on his commissary than Najee Harris has with the Chargers. Jordan Mason quietly is the running back of the near-term future for the Vikings. I think he's probably going to score 7 or 8, 9 touchdowns potentially. Aaron Jones had 300 touches last year, though. I didn't realize that until a couple days ago. 300. But he's also Aaron Jones. So Jordan Mason is, the term league winner is overused. Jordan Mason's a potential league winner in that offense. Wide receiver sleeper.
I wouldn't call him a sleeper per se, but he's been climbing up my rankings, and I'm going to go ahead and say DK Metcalf. And the reason for that is people were so low on him last season, and he's Aaron Rodgers' #1 target. He's going to get peppered. I think he should be going higher than what he is at the moment, and I've actually been seeing him climb up the draft boards a bit. I think that's a great target.
For sure, and I mean, again, I've said it before, it's the Calvin Ridley argument last year. The volume, whether it's dog shit volume or it turns out to be reasonably quality volume, there's going to be volume.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. That's a nice high floor. My sleeper pick, I got to go back to the well one more time, Lou.
Who you got?
I got a need for Shaheed, baby. Rashid Shaheed in a contract year again with the Saints. I'm a believer, and I know there's a lot of people wrong. The Saints are probably going to be terrible. Your boy Chris Olave is there. Chris Olave is probably the #1. I just believe in what I have seen of Rashid Shaheed when he has been on the field, which has not been enough of the time. As a guy who does have major knee injuries on his odometer now, so the floor is not there, but the ceiling is. And if you're in Dallas, we're here in the Dallas area. If you're in a league with other Dallas Cowboys fans, Cowboys are going to go fast and furious. They're going to go hot and heavy in the draft.
Pickens, Lamb.
George Pickens is going to be going further after CeeDee Lamb in drafts because obviously Lamb's a first rounder in most leagues these days. He's going to be going several rounds after Lamb. I'm telling you, he shouldn't. He should be going after Lamb, but not by as much as he's going to be going. So I think there's meat on the bone with Pickens.
So you're saying Dak Prescott is about to go off?
Let's get to we got questions here still, Lou. We'll get to Dak. Okay. We have junior fantasy players here, Lou. Ladies, what are your questions?
I'm scared.
There you go. There you go.
All right, I want to redo it. My name is Cameron. Will Bryce Young be worth a pick in the Superflex League?
Dynasty?
Oof,
And we talking 10 teams, 12 teams?
12.
Well, yeah. Okay. So their question for us, Lou. Bryce Young, is he worth the current cost, the present day sticker price, in Superflex Dynasty leagues?
Hell yes, he is. He's a starting quarterback. You don't think so?
Go ahead.
Of course. He's a starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. They just added Tetairoa McMillan. They got Xavier Leggett coming back. They have a pretty solid wide receiver core. And he showed us what he can do at the end of last season. He came back on a mission. This is super flex, Luke. Most definitely Bryce Young is worth a pick.
Talking about it, is Bryce Young, is the juice worth the squeeze? How much that squeeze is matters, Lou. His price right now is a first-round pick. You got to spend a first-round pick on Bryce Young. If he gets fully off of the mat here and turns it back around to where he was 15 months ago, value-wise, okay. He has not shown us. And I know circumstances, you can make excuses all day and night for him. Drake May. The silver bullet for the Bryce Young argument is Drake May. Drake May didn't have any groceries in the cupboard either. And what did he do? He went out and showed us there is unequivocal proof that we should be in on Drake May.
But we're talking about two different things right now, though. So we're talking about 80, average draft cost, right? So Drake May, you have to pick him up early, and Drake May is more expensive. I do believe he's a way more talented quarterback, but the price you can get Bryce Young at, you got to take a shot. He flashed last year, and he was selected to a terrible Carolina Panthers team, man. So, of course, he didn't do that great. But he got benched. He came back strong. That shows a lot for a young player to get benched and come back strong. So, yeah, I'm willing to take a shot, man.
He's going around Dak Prescott in startup drafts, Lou. I think that pretty much kills the Bryce Young argument.
We're in Dallas right now, right? Dak Prescott, please.
We have Alexa here with a question for us.
Hi.
And like Alexa, we're asking you to tell us something now. How can we be of service at Drinkin Dynasty? Absolutely.
Well, I gotta ask. So, who's your favorite quarterback at ADP?
In redraft?
Yeah.
In redraft?
All right.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be on the same page on this one. Go ahead, Lou.
So
You drove.
Luke, It's not because I'm sitting here in Dallas. That's not the reason I'm going to say this.
Of course not. Never. No.
But the average ADP for Dak Prescott is ridiculous right now.
It really is.
You can get him so late in drafts, and he's going to provide so much value with, like you mentioned earlier, Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. We got a healthy Jake Ferguson coming back. He is going to deliver. That team's going to score a lot of points and the ball on offense.
Prescott is the answer. So we're in agreement. Alexa's going. Alexa's gone. Oh, she's still here. Alexa. We're in agreement that Prescott is hard to beat for the money. That's what ADP is. We're talking about for the money. So for the money, Prescott's great. But this is the year for if you want to save money on your quarterback in your fantasy draft. This is the year. We've got Dak Prescott at around 14 overall. Kaleb Williams at 13. Jordan Love at 15. Fields at 16. Your boy Stroud at 17. Trevor Lawrence and J.J. McCarthy are 19 and 20. J.J. McCarthy in the O'Connell offense. Trevor Lawrence with BTJ and Hunter. The real takeaway here is if you go early at quarterback in your leagues this year, you are a fool. You are throwing money away. You cannot go early on quarterbacks in redraft this year. So you've got the right idea.
Sweet love, I don't know what you're doing, but like, Luke seems like he knows what he's doing, so what do you have to say about him?
Ouch.
Okay, this is my cousin. I had her come out to do that to you specifically.
He paid you, huh? That's what that's about. No, he listed off some great players.
Well, we were in agreement. We were in agreement, but
I would actually take Kaleb
Checks in the
Williams
mail.
over Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that he's below.
True.
But either way, those are all good buys. I'm fully in agreement that if you wait and redraft for a quarterback, you're going to be better off because your team's going to have more depth and stronger players.
when we take this do our next episode in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence will be the one that we
for
pick.
sure.
For sure. Alexa, thank you, dear. Top notch. All right, sir. How can we get service?
So any teams with crappy receiving cores,
Yeah.
that, you know, like, hey, gotta get a draft pick, a receiver. That receiver's going to a market inefficiency where they can really capitalize on getting a lot of targets.
That's
Well,
probably your area right there. What you got?
I like the way you think. We can't overlook Kyle Williams here or Stefon Diggs.
Ooh, that's a great thought.
But what do you think?
So, no, great idea. So the Patriots wide receiver core is a mess right now.
Yep.
Stefon Diggs looked amazing in training camp already. He still hasn't recovered from injury, but he was moving around with a lot of speed already. Drake May is going to target him a lot. They also got a rookie named Kyle Williams. I'm going to let you speak about your guy.
Yeah, Kyle Williams looks like the real deal. Stefon Diggs, when he is ready to go, when he's fully ramped up, that's going to be tough to beat. He was the wide receiver 10 in fantasy last year as the number 2 receiver for the Texans. He was compiling volume like a madman before he tears the ACL. He's 32. He's coming off of an ACL tear. He's not going to play in September. When he comes back, that's going to be nice, and you're going to get a discount on him because he's not going to be out there week 1. Probably most leagues that are drafting mid-late August, that's around the time Diggs is going to hit the pup, and his ADP is going to back off. Kyle Williams is like the long bet. If Diggs is not really able to hack it anymore, coming off the ACL at his age, which is possible, we're optimistic, but it's possible. Kyle Williams is the guy who, like, he actually is showing us multiple indications, multiple signs over the summer that, like, this guy might walk out off the team bus fully formed. He might be ready to come and do this work. So, Quinshon Booty, he put up some empty numbers last year where I'm like, I don't buy it. Javon Baker's on milk cartons. Jalen Polk is like, he's on probation at best. I don't see anybody else but Kyle Williams.
Yeah, Kyle Williams has an amazing route tree, so we're expecting good things from him this season to show out as a rookie. I do have a question for you, though.
There is no floor on Kyle Williams. I just wanted to put if he has 8 catches all year, that's not our fault. That's not our fault. It's the Patriots' fault.
What's going on with the Dynasty League, man? You guys y'all gonna make this happen or what? With the Dynasty League.
We heard that you were resistant to some Dynasty League action, and
hey, honestly, if y'all have a good group, a good core of guys, do it, man. Y'all are gonna have a great time. It's year round. It's a lot of fun. Even better.
That's actually in Dynasty. It is important in a redraft league. Somebody doesn't want to play that year. 2 guys crash out. They don't want to play that year. Whatever. You just replace them. You move on. In Dynasty, it's a much different kettle of fish. They got to take over somebody's roster, and that's like wearing somebody else's underwear. You can find someone that might be willing to do it, but they're doing you a favor. So that is.
And if the underwears aren't clean, which can happen in Dynasty, sometimes you don't want to put those on.
If you're gonna start Dynasty League, you want names, numbers, socials, list of childhood fears, ways to control these people to keep them at the table, for sure.
What you got for us?
And my name's Taylor R. Who's going to be RB1 for the Cowboys this year?
So he's going to hate this answer. He's the Cowboys fan here.
What a jerk asking us a hard question.
In my opinion, it's Javonte Williams. I think he's going to lead the team in carries. They did draft Blue. he has a lot of speed. He's a great, in a sense, he plays running back, but he's great at catching the ball. But I think the guy that's going to handle the ball is Javonte Williams, in my opinion. I want to hear your take.
So it really depends how you're parsing the term RB1. Will Javonte Williams have the most carries of the Cowboys? That's possible. That's possible. The Cowboys maybe are going to want somebody to eat some low value, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of carries where you're not on the field on third downs. You're not getting the goal line touches. Javonte might. I think he's cooked. I think he's out of gas. Like he was on the Broncos last year. Their offensive line posted the highest run block and highest pass block win rates of any line in the league. They won both, and he was still garbage. All the Broncos running backs were though, so it's hard to say. I don't see it. I haven't seen it from him since he tore his knee up. I want it to be true. I want him to be back. I think it's gonna be blue, man. The Cowboys are gonna want to go fast. That's what I believe. They're gonna want to march up and down the field. Javonte Williams he's gonna be out of breath. They get across the 50, and Miles Sanders is like, does he have anything left? There's also the real possibility though that the running back one is not even on the team yet. Rashad White is going to be available soon. Other guys like that are going to be out there that are going to be available. Zach Moss from the Bengals, he could get released. He shows up in Dallas. Is he not the RB1? The running back room is weak enough that I don't really want to be the first guy to take a Cowboys running back in any draft. That much I know.
I will say this, Blue has a lot of potential, and I want him to be successful for the Cowboys, but I was really surprised when they drafted him. There's some other guys that were still on the draft board that if I was the Dallas Cowboys, I would have went with. There's some things that I see about him that I don't see him as a running back one. Be a third down back, I just don't see him as a guy.
Can't teach speed, Lou. Can't teach it. And you can't teach being a Longhorn. Gotta keep it close, Lou. Gotta keep it in the family.
Wasn't Roshan Johnson a Longhorn?
Moving on. Next question. That's no good. Okay.
Aggies.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. She already asked the question.
Ready?
Ready.
All right, my name is Aaron, and I'm hanging out here at Bitter Sisters. I think my question for you, 2 questions. One, I'm new to the whole fantasy football thing, never really done it before. When I talk NFL, it's usually based on cutest coach or players or colors of the jerseys, whatever. So what advice would you have for me in picking players? I'm an Aggie, so maybe an Aggie that I should include in my lineup?
I know who you should say, and if you don't, I'm going to say him. Do you have a Texas Aggie alum for our lovely friend that's trying to help us out by asking questions on our fantasy football podcast? Aggie alum. This is a tough one.
We're talking about Matt? Who are you talking about?
I'm saving mine. I'm not giving it to you.
Continue. Go ahead. You go first.
Shame on you. Freshly traded to your Houston Texans, Christian Kirk is a Texas A&M alum. And Christian Kirk had an absolutely off-the-charts slot rate last year. He was over 80% of his routes out of the slot. You don't see that anymore. That's off the charts. He was able to do that because Brian Thomas Jr. does what? But Brian Thomas Jr. shows up and vaporizes the fucking landscape there in Jacksonville. There were not many places Christian Kirk could go and see that kind of slot monopolization again. Houston is one, though. Nico Collins and Jayden Higgins outside, huge, fast, fucking pterodactyls outside.
You're getting me excited right now about my Texans. Keep going.
Christian Kirk is near the end of the line, but he might see 90 targets out of the slot, just out of the slot. And then if Nico Collins gets hurt, misses time, Christian Kirk in the draft. Christian Kirk, you got him. Give him. Can you? Aggies is right. That's what I said.
No comment here, man. He talked about the Houston Texans, Christian Kirk, Texas A&M. Let's go.
That's what that one. And it hasn't landed yet. Gone. Okay. Carol had one more. Carol? Aaron.
What rookie do you think will have the biggest impact for his team this year?
Excellent question from Aaron. Rookie impact. Who you got, Lou? I wonder if we should preface it with ADP, because obviously if we don't make it ADP sensitive, we all know what the answer is. Based on current redraft ADP, approximately, who's a rookie? Don't look at Dynasty, we're talking redraft. A rookie that for normal people with normal Christian jobs, that they are going to care about in their fantasy draft. That isn't Ashton Jeanty.
Okay, so you don't want me to say...
I don't want you to say Jeanty, that's not fair.
I'm going to say Kaleb Johnson for the Steelers. He's going to shine right into the Najee Harris role. He's going to probably get 240-plus carries. That dude is ready. Come on, man.
I'm not going to say probably. It's possible.
He's big, has the speed, and that team's going to utilize him.
He's a monster. Kaleb Johnson, the first time I knew Kaleb Johnson was big coming out, but when I saw him at OTAs, I was like, oh, I hadn't seen a running back just cut a line in a uniform like that since Derrick Henry. He's not Derrick Henry, but he was the first one where I was like, damn, there's a man amongst boys out here. My answer is obviously Ashton Jeanty. I don't know why you wouldn't say Jeanty.
What an asshole.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't help it. After Jeanty, it's such a mess. Kaleb Johnson, that's actually bold. I can't say Harvey because of the Dobbins uncertainty. I would have said Quinshon, but we know we can't say Quinshon. Hopefully we'll have time to get to that.
I got you on this. I'll keep this rolling.
I think I know who you're going to say, and I agree. It's who I think it's going to be.
TreVeyon Henderson.
Yep.
Running back for the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
That dude, Drake May, is going to love this dude.
Yep.
He's going to be in the game because he pass blocks. He catches passes. He's a top-end prospect. The Patriots are going to love this addition to the team.
Yeah, I agree. Henderson, it's Mike Drake. Will Drake May throw the ball around a little bit? Sure, but, they're going to live and die through the run game in some form. Throwing the ball to the running back's fine, but the running backs are going to be involved. Ramondre Stevenson he's just a guy. I know he's making $8-9 million this year. He shouldn't be, but he is. He's just a guy. Henderson is for real. He's going to change this whole offense. He's probably going to be their best player by the end of the season. It would be surprising if he isn't, even if Diggs is healthy. So yeah, Henderson. Yeah. All right, you won that one. I won the other one.
I had to get one.
You won that
sure.
one. All right, fine.
All right,
Oh,
boys,
thank God.
We got
Thank
the
God.
beverages here.
Beauteous.
There, we got the Kaboomtown Colts
Oh,
for Luke.
Lovely.
We got the Awkward Phase Hazy IPA for Luke.
Sir,
Enjoy, boys.
what's your name?
Matt Dumont, Bitter
Matt
Sisters.
Dumont. Oh, beautiful. From
Appreciate
Bitter
you,
Sisters.
Matt.
Oh,
Enjoy, boys.
Matt Dumont, the tap room manager.
Yes, sir.
Here at Bitter Sisters. Fantastic.
Yep, come see me.
We got a couple beers. Thank you, sir. We'll be back to see you.
Awesome.
This is the first of hopefully many. Oh, our first on-air clinky. First on-air cheers. Okay, now we can start the podcast.
Let's do it.
Now we can start the podcast. Okay, so before we tip over into full-on redraft season, let's have one more look back. It's been 3 months since the NFL draft. God, it's been 3 months since the NFL draft. Oh, shit. It's been 3 months since the NFL draft. Let's reassess which rookies have seen their values go up, who have held steady. Probably most of them have held pretty steady. Obviously, there's going to be one or two whose values are down. I want to hear, looking back now, 3 months on, what do you think the first 24 picks should have looked like? And again, this is super flex format. So Cam Ward's going to be much higher than in a one quarterback format. So don't freak out. Let's look back at the top 24-ish picks. Tell me what you think. If I agree, I'll shut up. If I don't agree, well.
So, Luke, obviously the first overall pick hasn't changed. Ashton Jeanty. I don't think there's much to talk about there. He's a great running back prospect. He's been number one all offseason and still is number one on the board. I see you thinking. What you got? What you got for me?
I don't disagree. I would not be so bold as to disagree. But I got to listen to my gut sometimes. I listen to my gut all the time. What am I talking about? I got to listen to my gut. I think Cam Ward is for real. I'm going to go on record here. So if he busts now, he can bust all over my face. That's fine. That's fine. If he busts, fine, I'll eat that. But I think he should be closer to Jeanty in our mind's eyes than he is. I will say that much. But no, it's Jeanty, sure.
So I'm glad that you brought that name up because I actually flopped. At number 2, I'm actually moving in Cam Ward because we play Superflex.
We got to do the Hulk Hogan, Randy Macho Man gif where Hulk throws up the hand and then just... There we go, Cam Ward. There we go.
All we're hearing is good news out of Cam Ward from the Tennessee Titans, man.
Non-stop.
So I'm starting to buy in. Showing up early, staying late. They love him in Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's a good sign for your number 1 overall draft pick. So I'm buying in. We play Superflex, so he's my number 2 at the moment.
I would go so far as to say that Cam Ward has already established himself more in that building with the Tennessee Titans than Caleb Williams ever has with the Chicago Bears today. And now granted, Caleb Williams has a ways to go. But like the level of certainty, of confidence that they have thrown into this guy, who has not played a snap yet, but also that we know it's probably going to be rough. They didn't fix the receiver room, really. They didn't. They know it's going to be bumpy, but they don't care.
He did say Calvin Ridley is a wide receiver.
Oh, right, sorry.
He did say that.
Sorry, top 5 receiver, yeah.
Top 5, yeah.
Him and Burks, yeah. All right, no, I love it. We got the same top 2.
You're going to disagree with me on this, but I don't give a shit. This is my rankings, Luke.
That's right.
I have Omarion Hampton, running back for the Chargers, as my number 3 pick.
I retain a little bit of Hampton skepticism, but I can't argue the Najee Harris. Najee Harris still hasn't been. Where's Najee, Lou? Where's Wallace?
Somewhere with an eye patch, man. Unfortunately,
the Chargers got some. They're going to get investigated at some point. Like, where is your player? You have to proof of life. So that news, like, it's only adding fuel to the fire. I can't knock it too much. I would have Hampton at 4, but sure.
Awesome, yeah. And we've said this before, but just to reiterate, that offensive line is going to be pretty solid. Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball.
It's true.
This guy's going to get carries.
If something crazy happens to Najee, he doesn't play in September, or he doesn't play at all, then I can't even argue anymore. It's Hampton at 3.
At number 4, I have Tet McMillan. That to me is like a security blanket pick. He's going to get peppered with targets in Carolina. So he's a guy that I wanted to take a shot at number 4. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm taking cop-outs here, but I was more skeptical of Tet McMillan 3 months ago. I was. I'm not sold. I'm not sure that he can really be a number 1, but I have to admit there are signs. I would have him at 5, but okay.
Let me see if this next guy's your 4. At number 5, I have Travis Hunter.
Yep.
And the reason is the Jaguars spent some serious draft capital.
Yep.
The reason why some people are scared, and I'll admit I'm a little concerned as well, is how much is he going to get used at wide receiver versus cornerback. But I really believe if they spent that capital on him, they will utilize him as a wide receiver. He's going to be a solid wide receiver behind BTJ. And I expect good things from Trevor Lawrence coming into this next season. He has to take a step up.
Oh, for sure. And, I mean, if he doesn't, there's going to be hell to pay for sure. No, look at what the Jaguars invested. Really, Lou, the Hunter reluctance, what else does it come down to but will he play enough offensive snaps? If I could tell you right now, absolute certainty, that Travis Hunter is going to play 70% of the offensive snaps, start to finish, for the Jaguars, would he still be at 5 here? Keep in mind, this is a dynasty format, and you've got him at 5.
I will still take Tet McMillan. Right there. If you told me he was paying like 85, 90, then I'm in all the way. But I know Ted's gonna be on the field, and that's what it comes to.
Tyreek Hill plays about 70-75% of the snaps for the Dolphins. But
he's not Tyreek Hill.
That's
yet,
true.
though.
That's true.
He's not Tyreek Hill.
That's
yet,
true.
Though.
All right.
So at number 6, I have this guy we just finished talking about, TreVeyon Henderson, running back for the New England Patriots. I already said my piece. How do you feel about that pick?
You know, this would be a much more interesting discussion if certain criminal proceedings weren't hanging over another running back, teammate of TreVeyon's. Yeah, I can't argue with it. Like, Quinshon, I would have had him ahead of TreVeyon. Or I might not still have him ahead, but I did have him ahead at one point. But yeah, obviously that's out the window now. So yeah, it's TreVeyon 6. Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. The next guy...
Maybe even 5.
I moved this guy up my rankings because of some of the Godwin news. And also, I've always believed in him from the start, man. I have Emeka Egbuka for the Buccaneers at pick number 7. So,
all right.
Emeka Egbuka, amazing work ethic, run blocks like crazy, great route tree. There's nothing to question about this guy. And now he might get more play time because Chris Godwin's injury might be more serious than what we thought. Also, we're talking Dynasty, Luke. Mike Evans is getting older. Godwin's getting older, coming off an injury. This guy is going to inherit the kingdom. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 moving forward for the Buccaneers, man.
I'm not sure that he's going to play enough outside, but yeah, I can't argue with the pick. The Godwin news does matter. Like I don't want to be responsive to like, oh, the Godwin had a setback with his ankle and be like, okay, well I'm moving Egbuka up significantly. But looking at who else is around here, the ceiling. Like, yeah, like if he really takes control here in that offense, they're talking about locking Mayfield up until the end of the decade now. Like, that's probably going to happen before the start of the season. All right. I don't love it, but I have to accept it.
This next guy moved up my board. We actually brought him up a little bit ago, but Kaleb Johnson at number 8, above Quinshon Judkins for me.
I think Kaleb should be ahead of Egbuka. I really do. Just physical specimen-wise. I know.
With me having them at 7 and 8, I won't argue that too much. I just know wide receivers sometimes carry longer value in Dynasty.
Sure.
And because I believe in Egbuka the way I do, that's why I kind of prompt them.
That's fair.
They're at 7.
But Kaleb is such a monster. Obviously Pittsburgh is not a super exciting landing spot, but I think he's going to get more carries potentially per game. Or per start. I'm going to say per start. More carries per start than Ashton Jeanty in year 1.
Wow.
I really do. I really think that's what's going to happen.
I like that. That's big
well,
time.
Is Jeanty more valuable even in redraft? Of course. But still. I mean, they're going to ride him to 3.9 yards a carry, but they're going to ride him.
Definitely.
So, yeah. All right.
The next guy on the list who I bumped down is Quinshon Judkins. I still believe in the talent. I know there's a lot of serious allegations ahead, and we still haven't got details yet in regards to if there's going to be a suspension.
Yeah.
But he's still a talented player, and usually NFL players kind of come out ahead in these situations. You might have to be patient. He may face suspension, but the talent is there, and he should be locked in as the Browns running back when he's on the field.
It's a really weird situation because he wasn't even under contract yet, so now it's complicating the timing of his rookie deal getting signed. But that deal's going to get signed. And then as soon as it is, we'll never care about it again. It'll be poof, gone out of our minds forever. It's hard to know how much to decrement to bust down Judkins right now because there's so much uncertainty. This feels close to right. There's a good chance that Judkins winds up stabilizing and being more valuable than Egbuka and Kaleb Johnson. If you took Judkins at 6, 5, even in a league, you should not be shitting your pants. You should be a little frustrated, but as soon as he signs his deal and he's back on the field, a lot's going to get forgiven right away.
Yeah, and just because I moved him down my draft board, that doesn't say like, hey, sell him at a lower price. Like if I was a Judkins owner right now, I'd be holding on just to see what happens.
Of course.
And Dynasty is a long game. Don't sell him for pennies.
Yeah.
The next guy on the list, I think you're going to disagree with me on this, but I put Tyler Warren at number 10. I actually have Tyler Warren ahead of Colston Loveland. I know Loveland is younger and he's with Ben Johnson on what should be a really great offense. But I think Warren is going to be a focal point of the Colts offense. I believe if Anthony Richardson can stay on the field and keep that quarterback one job for the Colts, I think Tyler Warren is going to be a big-time target of his.
I don't strongly disagree. I think Tyler Warren is
the more immediate impact.
He's potentially a top 10 finisher in fantasy this year. Like I think he's going to be involved, focal point of sorts at the goal line, potentially on like designed runs. That makes sense to me here for this like rugby style offense. If Anthony Richardson rallies and wins the job, which it looks like, hey, Daniel Jones doesn't have a one yet. It could be Anthony Richardson out there. So Tyler Warren can play. He's going to play right away. The Colts finally have a tight end. I really honestly might have another player here that's a couple of spots down. I was worried he was going to be further down your board, but now I can see. I have somebody that when we get to him, I'll make a case for him. I would probably have this player ahead of Warren, but they are bang bang, and I love Warren. It's a good pick.
So the next pick is Colston Loveland. So great tight end prospect. Coming into the league at a pretty young age, playing with Ben Johnson. The reason I don't have him a little bit higher than Tyler Warren, for example, is because I think it's going to take time. I think it's going to be a waiting game. Will we see flashes in 2025? I believe we will, but we also got to feed DJ Moore. We have to feed a Doomsday.
We got to win games.
We got to win games. There's Luther Burden. There's DeAndre Swift. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, but this guy has talent, so I'm willing to wait on him in Dynasty if it's going to take more than the 2025 season.
I love Loveland, don't get me wrong, but my spidey sense is tingling a bit here. If he comes out and catches 30 footballs, 35 footballs,
you're not going to be too happy.
And is fighting tooth and nail with Cole Kmet for snaps and losing the battle in the long run, what's his resale value, what's his market value going to look like 8 months from now?
I think it stays steady because Cole Kmet's not the guy. They drafted this guy to be the guy.
Yes, but you say that now, but if you're sitting on Loveland in 6 months and he comes out and is the tight end 21, that doubt's going to start to creep in. And regardless, it doesn't matter if you still believe or not, his perceived value is going to go down. So what I'm saying is, like, I believe he is a top 10, top 12 type talent like we've got him here, but I think, kind of like you were hinting at, his market in the short term is primed to pull back. It's going to be very tough for him on the field. He missed all of OTAs with a shoulder. Like, they say he's healthy now. He's got to make up ground in a hurry.
In my opinion, if his market goes down, buy.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
100%.
That's what I'm saying is, like, he shouldn't go this early and then later on you come back and get him via trade.
Definitely. The next guy, he's not somebody I'm huge on, but I have to respect the fact that he was drafted in the first round of the NFL draft and that there is an opportunity for him with the Packers. So I'm going to go ahead and say Matthew Golden at number 12 to end the first round. Just because the opportunity is there. I mean, he's going to be competing with Dobbs. He's going to be competing with Reed. I do think the Packers up the pass game. I hinted on the last episode of why they started shifting to the run game and focusing more on Josh Jacobs. But we have a healthy Love coming into this season, and I think they're still going to focus on the run, but they're going to involve the pass game more, have more 3 wide receiver sets. So take a chance on Matthew Golden.
If we didn't know what we know about where Matthew Golden was drafted by the Packers, what would be the case for taking Matthew Golden half a dozen spots, 5-6 spots ahead of 12 spots ahead of Kyle Williams? I'm having a real tough time making that argument.
I like that argument. Yeah.
Both middling in size, not disqualifyingly small like Josh Downs, like guys like that, Wan'Dale Robinson, but not big guys. Fast, but not Tyreek Hill. Well, Golden's close. But even Golden's, like, a sidebar, but like Golden's 4.3 speed, it doesn't show up for me on the tape. He's fast enough, but he's not Tyreek Hill. I'm really struggling. Like, I know he was very good for the Longhorns last year. The Longhorns offense, the Steve Sarkisian offense, is just friendly to numbers. It's friendly to stats. Quinn Ewers put up huge numbers at Texas, got him in the 7th round. Like, nobody else for the Longhorns got out alive. Jaden Blue falls day 3. Gunnar Helm went in round 4, and that was one of the better placements for any of their position players.
Yeah.
So I know Matthew Golden, I get it, but you got to be like Keith from the Discord, a couple other guys that are just dyed-in-the-wool Golden believers because what they've seen with their eyes, they believe in. You got to believe in him from what you've seen of him on the football field to take him there, because forest for the trees, I don't see the argument for him over some of these other receivers we have coming up on this list.
Yeah, I think for me the draft capital kind of bumps him up. I think the opportunity with a really good quarterback bumps him up. But there are some guys that we're about to mention here that are, in my opinion, pretty good options at wide receiver. So honestly, if it was me, I would probably be willing to trade out of that 112 pick and kind of collect some second rounders.
I agree.
With some of these names that are coming up. So
I agree.
So that ends round 1. Let's get into round 2.
And we're shutting the club down in here now, so we're going to kind of speed round it here.
So we have Luther Burden at pick 1. So the thing with Luther Burden, very great talent. He didn't have the best season last year, but this year before he looked elite.
Yeah.
The only thing with him is I'm taking a bet on the talent, but it might take a while because we're buying into a Bears offense that has a lot of pieces. But he might be the heir apparent to DJ Moore if they decide to kind of move on from there, right?
Yep.
At number 2, I have Camp Scatabo, who I might have earlier than a lot of people. I just believe in the film. I love what he showed. Do you have anything to say about that, or
no? Go through and then I'll come back.
All right. At number 3, I bumped him down with the J.K. Dobbins signing. I still believe in R.J. Harvey. I'm wondering about the workload moving forward, but I would be happy to have him on my dynasty roster.
That's a softer bump you gave him than I think a lot of people have.
At number 4, Tre Harris. This is a guy I really believe in. I think if he didn't get hurt last year, he might have been drafted in the first round of the NFL draft. That's how dominant he was before the injury. He made Jaxson Dart look good. Fair, I'm going to put it that way.
Very.
After this, let's go to my Houston Texans. I got Jayden Higgins, who I'm already salivating over the videos that are coming out of training camp, some of these catches he's making on the sideline. He's a big body, really great player moving forward. I think alongside Nico Collins, who you talked about earlier, Christian Kirk, I think that's going to be an awesome piece for Stroud and that offense. I'm excited about that. Next, Luke, I'm going to be honest. I have him here because we play Superflex.
I'm surprised he's that low.
I don't believe in him. I think the reason I had to put him here is he was drafted in the first round, right? The New York Giants are taking a shot on him. They have Russell Wilson at the moment.
Player's name?
Russell Wilson? Oh, so sorry. Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart at number 6. I don't know if Russell Wilson's going to make it through the whole season. If I had to bet on it, serious. If they start losing a lot of games, which I believe the Giants are going to be really bad, they might test run Jaxson Dart and see what he has. And the reason they're going to want to do that is because the 2026 season has a lot of good quarterbacks coming out potentially. The 2027 season has a lot of good quarterbacks coming out. Just because they invested in Jaxson Dart does not guarantee him the job for several years because there's better talent coming out, right?
And Joe Schoen is about 4 or 5 early season losses from the door anyway. Jaxson Dart is on a collision course with being Will Levis out of the equation here. Will Levis was the last gasp pick, the first and last gas draft pick of Rand Carthon as the general manager in Tennessee. He was one and done. Joe Schoen, they're both going to be gone. Schoen and Apple.
And unfortunately for Jaxson Dart, he doesn't even have the Mayo deal. Doesn't even have the Mayo deal, man.
He'll get something from Cabela.
So this guy, I keep wanting to bump up, but I have him here at 207. Our boy, Kyle Williams, the guy we constantly bring up on this podcast. What we said earlier, great route tree, real opportunity on the New England Patriots. At number 8, I moved down Jack Betch. And the reason for that is some people are already saying that Thornton might be the number 2 wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders. So, still good talent. I still want to take a shot on him.
Sure.
But
full PPR especially.
Yeah. After this, I have Mason Taylor. So the reason I put Mason Taylor here was his. Actually, let me rewind that. At 209, I put Tyler Show. It felt pretty disgusting, Luke. I didn't really want to put Tyler Show there, but you know what? More than likely, he will be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, and that brings value to a dynasty team.
Yep.
So enough said there, right?
Yeah.
After that, at the 210, Mason Taylor.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is the Jets have Garrett Wilson. They have Breece Hall. Who the hell do they have after that? Right?
True.
So this is a guy that might get a lot of targets early and often.
True.
At 211, I put down another Texan. We got Jaylin Noel. The reason I put down Jaylin Noel, and I don't expect him to do anything in 2025. This is a wait and see player. Maybe keep him on the taxi squad. But amazing route tree, solid wide receiver, and guess what? I don't think Christian Kirk is going to be with us long term. You know who can fill that role? Jaylin Noel.
Yeah.
And then at the 212, I'm going to say...
You had it and you lost it on this one. You had it and you lost it.
You know, you got to take your shots, though. So
yeah.
I put Shedeur Sanders.
Woo!
Right. He's already impressing in training camp. I expect Joe Flacco to start the season, but Joe Flacco is not the answer. I think the Browns are going to want to see what this guy has. And he might have an opportunity to start a few games and potentially win the job. And that's why I put him there at 212, because I think his value can rise so much just by starting one game.
True. That is a good point. And like looking back at what the third round looked like, guys that I could possibly swap in for your Shedeur there, all the third rounders have taken on water since we were looking at them with rose-colored glasses a couple of months ago, and all of a sudden it's like, oh God, DJ Giddens, Devin Neal. What was I thinking? Oh God!
You know, there's still guys like I like DJ Giddens, but again,
he was an 8 at 2 a.m. and now he's a 2 at 8 a.m.
we like Jayden Giddens after a few beers.
Exactly. Good beer goggles. All right, you're running through your list. Luther Burden. I think Burden should be up there with Warren. I really do. If he had not gotten hurt early on in the whatever the offseason install, I think the hype would already got out of control. The injury is, if you're a Burden believer, is nice because it's suppressing his price tag, which is I think he's better than Matthew Cole. I think he belongs next to Egbuka.
I wouldn't even argue that.
His talent, potentially his ceiling, you can't even argue it's in that same range. And like Egbuka, he just needs some room. He just needs some guys to get out of the way. The Bears guys ahead of him are younger. That hurts. But DJ Moore, his contract is effectively up after 2026. So we'll see. No, I love Burden. Scatabo, I mean, who am I going to put here ahead of him? The only guys that are even in play for me to put ahead of Scatabo here are R.J. Harvey, Jayden Higgins, Kyle Williams, and yes, all right, give you your flowers, Tre Harris, fine.
I can leave Dallas happy. He said Tre Harris. Let's
all right, I'm not saying I'm going to beat anybody to the punch to get him, but fine. Mike Williams, whatever, things are going his way. All right, so Scatabo, like, dog factor. Like, sorry, like, yeah, he's slow, yeah, he's a white guy, I mean, whatever. Look at what he did. I mean, he put the Sun Devils on his back.
Carried it.
Kept them in games against teams they had no business hanging with. So yeah, Scatabo there, like, he might vaporize Tyrone Tracy.
I'm betting on it, to be honest.
Well, I'm not going to. Tyrone Tracy's not a slouch, but it won't surprise me. Like, he should lead them in carries. He absolutely should. So, R.J. Harvey, I want to put him lower. What is different materially between him and Kamani Vidal at this point? Really? He does. Second round? Second round, sure, but he was also like, what, the 4th or 5th running back selected? That matters more to me. They took him the second. They need a running back. That's how bad they needed a running back, not how much they necessarily loved R.J. Harvey. He's 24. That means if he can't push Dobbins out of the way, he limps into year 2 at 25 years old. So
age is a big factor in that.
Early in the second, I'm real squeamish already. Tre Harris, I can't argue with it. I just can't argue with it. You actually killed this. I got to be honest. Time out. You killed this set list here for sure. So Tre Harris, sure. Like, I still think he's got major volume limitations, but hey, they seem to love him. I'm not worried about QJ. I'll give you that much. So Tre Harris, I would put Jayden Higgins ahead of him. I'd put Higgins all the way at. He's the only guy that I would actually for sure put ahead of Scatto. Higgins, like, he not be a guy? Sure, he might be Mac Hollins. Just a big guy who has all the tools for whatever reason, just isn't it? But, like, you want to be wrong for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You take Higgins and he doesn't work out, you were wrong for the right reasons.
And if anybody can make him hit, is C.J. Stroud. Like, I really believe that much in the Houston Texans quarterback.
And Nick Cade, like, they got rid of Slowick, but I think they might have upgraded at OC. Like, it's hard not to love this. Jaxson Dart, to me, Jaxson Dart and Tyler Shuck are the same guy at this point. Really. Like, in fact, I'd rather have Shuck.
Oh, I like that take.
You can say with high certainty that Kellen Moore will be the head coach of the Saints next year. You cannot say with high certainty anything about what's going to go on with the Giants next year. You can't. Russell Wilson might not make it to the end of the season. What are you, crazy? He's not going to make it to the end of the season. He's not going to make it to Halloween. Have you seen their schedule? If you are watching this and the season has not yet begun, go look at the Giants' schedule for Week 12 and tell me you can find 3 wins. You can't. I can't. All right. So, yeah, the Jaxson Dart's fucked. Kyle Williams should be right up there with Higgins. Like, on opportunity alone, he's riskier than Higgins. I think that's fair to say. He's riskier than Higgins. A guy like Higgins is always going to have a role in the NFL as long as he can move it at a reasonable speed because he's too big. Yeah. He's too versatile. Williams, he might have a higher dog factor than Higgins. The shit we say about Egbuka, like, does he really want it bad enough? That might be actually true about Higgins and not so much Egbuka. But Williams, he's a bad man. Besh, I'm not sure Besh belongs in the second round right now.
Yeah.
I know it's maybe a little reactionary, but like we already had concerns like, but is he gonna be too one-dimensional? Is he gonna be able to play outside? Already he's getting pushed inside and then off the field because it turns out, like, so for me I was okay with Besh because Jacoby Myers, he played outside for the Raiders a lot these last 2 years. He was a slot guy in New England. He's been primarily an outside receiver since he showed up in Vegas. So I was like, okay, well, he thrived in that role last year, so as long as they keep using him that way, which we don't know about Dante Thornton at this point, becoming a guy, it's like, okay, fine. But Dante Thornton's emergence is now having a domino effect of pushing Jacoby Myers into the slot, and now Besh is fucked. Because Bowers is also a shadow slot receiver, so he's off the field now.
And honestly, I'm buying into Thornton at the moment. Like, what we're hearing already in the offseason, I'm buying in. So if somebody's willing to sell them to you at a cheap price in your dynasty league, go get them now because they probably haven't heard all the hype coming out.
So the stuff we're saying about Tre Harris, even Jayden Higgins, it might turn out to be true about Dante Thornton. Dante Thornton probably belongs in the top 25. He probably does somewhere. Tyler Shuck, I can't knock it. I don't like the player at all. I don't think it's going to work. But he might be the quarterback there for the next 3 years. That alone, any NFL team in Superflex, that's worth a top 24 pick. So yeah, Shuck, sure, why not? And Kellen Moore might be a guy. He might have a plan. He might. But Shuck has no floor. And you got to be okay with that. Like, if you don't like your second rounders to be risky, well, first off, they're all risky. But Shuck is very risky. Shuck might be Will Levis out of the equation, just like Jaxson Dart. Mason Taylor, fine. Don't take him thinking like you're juking the system. Like, you've got the Jets foolproof, surefire long-term plan at tight end. You don't. You have a guy that they like because he's got NFL lineage. Aaron Glenn played with his pappy, and like that. That's why they took him. Like he was for an LSU tight end, he was pretty productive. But I don't care. Like it's a risky pick. There's definitely other tight ends I'd rather have. Jaylin Noel, love that pick. Shedeur Sanders. It's like Matthew Golden at the end of the round before. If you really believe that much from the tape, and there's plenty of tape on Shedeur to make you fall in love with him to that degree, I can't knock it. Because it is all on the table. It is all on the table. But look, Tyler Shuck is a couple spots ahead, a little bit more expensive. We know he's going to be on the field in week 1. We don't know that Shedeur Sanders will ever make a start for the Cleveland Browns. We think, but there's too much uncertainty here still.
I will say, though, good dart throw at the end of the second.
Jackson dart throw. I see what you did there. All right. Well, we just want to run through here real quick and touch base one last time on how the arrows have moved up, down, and sideways on the main rookies, the top rookies of this class, before we shift hardcore into redraft mode.
Just want to shout out Bitter Sisters for inviting us here to do the podcast. The beer's amazing. They treated us great. Awesome place to be.
All right,
so
man.
definitely check it out.
Bitter Sisters, we're going to be back here. I don't know what form or flavor it's going to have. I don't know what it's going to look like. Bitter Sisters, our first brewery to host us on Drinkin Dynasty. We will not forget. We will be back. All right, but it's been fun. A lot of fun doing our first on-site podcast recording. We'll be back next week. Oh! Thank you. Our legions of 4 fans. There were more, but they left. I have a girlfriend who goes to school in Canada. You wouldn't know her. We'll be back next week for another live episode for Bullets Brewery, also here in North Texas. We will not have Lou with us in person, but we'll be with us in spirit and via the magic of the internet. All right. Well, it has been a blast. Let's go have some more beers.
I'm about to buy some cans here at Bitter Sisters right now, man.
There we go. All right. So we will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time. Oh, we got the beers.